Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on the utmost biggest challenge appertaining to eating healthy foods. What is it, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Can this Brobdingnagian challenge be overcome? Can it be surmounted, or is it insurmountable? Have you reached an impasse when you contemplate the notion of devouring healthy foods? No, you can triumph over this challenge. The biggest challenge appertaining to consuming healthy foods is that you'll need to be able to graze for a prolonged period of time during a meal so that you can maintain a healthy BMI. Foods subsumed under the salubrious, wholesome, heart healthy, brain healthy, kidney healthy, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, alkaline, antioxidant rich, anti-inflammatory, anti-glycation, nutrient-dense, raw fruitarian diet have scant calories embedded in them. They have an infinitesimal quantity of calories embedded in them. So just like a herbivore in the wild, if you embrace the raw fruitarian diet, you're going to need to prolong your eating sessions, and you're going to need to eat an enormous volume of fruits and vegetables in order to be able to maintain a healthy BMI. You need to be able to meet your weekly calorie threshold. I, for instance, eat 5,000 to 10,000 calories of fruits and vegetables per meal. If I desist, abstain, and refrain from doing so, then I'll lose weight. I do not want my weight to precipitously plunge into the abyss. I do not want to wither away. I want to be able to maintain a healthy BMI well above 18.5 and not fall underneath that healthy BMI threshold. So it can be a challenge to prolong your eating sessions. It can be a challenge to graze for a prolonged period of time during meals. People want to be able to instantaneously intake thousands of calories and wolf down their meals. When they're gorging on food, they do not want their eating sessions to be prolonged. They want them to be expeditious, and they want them to be streamlined and simple. They do not want to intake massive quantities of fruits and vegetables. They do not want to consume foods in enormous volumes. Most people are reticent about eating fruits and vegetables because they would rather assuage their palate with animal carcasses, animal secretions, animal byproducts, synthetic, bastardized, artificial, man-made foods than eat foods that are replete with nutrients, phytonutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. They prefer to eat foods that are replete with carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, pathogens, additives, and sugars. It is quite lamentable. Much to my consternation, much to my dismay, much to my agony, much to my chagrin, much to my distress, much to my grief, people blithely overlook the eminent importance of optimizing their health. They would rather assuage their palate than consume food subsumed under the salubrious, wholesome, heart healthy, brain healthy, kidney healthy, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, nutrient-dense, alkaline, antioxidant rich, anti-inflammatory, anti-glycation, raw fruitarian diet. It is lamentable, but it is what it is. People shirk on optimizing their health. People do not give an iota about maximizing their longevity rate. People do not care a modicum about optimizing their wellness. They do not care if they succumb to acute chronic inflammation. They do not care if they succumb to ailing. They do not care if they succumb to poor health. They do not care if they contract a lethal, debilitating, perilous, life-altering chronic disease. It is quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. So people also have deluded themselves into believing that their taste buds cannot change and that they're maladaptive. People also have deluded themselves into believing that fruits and vegetables are not scrumptious, succulent, delectable, palatable, nor savory. They think that they're bland and flavorless. In reality, the polar opposite is true. They're just not well acclimated with consuming healthy foods. So it can be a challenge to sustain embracing the raw fruitarian diet on the basis that it takes so long to finish a meal and to ingest all the requisite fruits and vegetables that you need to be able to ingest to maintain a healthy BMI as a raw fruitarian. Some nutrient-dense fruits encompass avocados, olives, durian, and of course coconuts. Vegetables, for the most part, have a negligible amount of calories. Most fruits have an infinitesimal amount of calories. So to be able to maintain a healthy weight, you're going to need to eat calorie-dense fruits. And if you want to eat the fruits and vegetables with scant calories, then you're going to need to eat them in massive quantities to be able to maintain a healthy BMI of well above 18.5. And if you do fast, if there are 16 to 48 hour intervals between your meals, make sure that you always take vegan supplements to never succumb to having subpar nutrient levels. You want to always be able to optimize your nutrient levels. And make sure that you always take vegan supplements to averse succumbing to nutrient deficiencies. Having nutrient deficiencies can be detrimental to every facet of your house. You want to be able to thrive, prosper, and flourish, and ensure that your 78 organs are eminently nourished and that they can function optimally. You do not want them to be degraded in any way, shape, nor form. You do not want to compromise your sacrosanct, indispensable, precious, invaluable health. So, it is a behemoth of a challenge to embrace consuming healthy foods when your life is chock full of exigent demands, when your schedule is busy and hectic and you have very little time to eat. Most people do not have the luxury of being able to eat even a few meals per week for a prolonged period of time. It's much easier to eat 8 micro meals than it is to eat behemoth meals. It's also much easier to eat calorie-dense foods than it is to eat voluminous meals comprised of foods that are mostly calorie diluted. People love consuming animal carcasses, animal secretions, animal byproducts, and they also inevitably love consuming synthetic, bastardized, artificial, man-made products. They have no qualms about consuming foods that are replete with carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, pathogens, additives, and sugars. Unfortunately, they do not give an iota about optimizing their overall health. They should take heed of only consuming healthy foods as well as vegan supplements. They should consume foods that are replete with nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber, and other salubrious compounds. So, to recapitulate, succinctly stated, the abridged version is that it can be a behemoth of a challenge to eat healthy foods, primarily because it takes so long to finish your meals if you're only eating healthy foods. And most people do not have the tolerance, they do not have the patience, they do not have the mental bandwidth to sustain eating meals for a prolonged period of time. Can you sustain eating incessantly, ceaselessly, unremittingly for at least 4 to 8 hours per meal, in which there are no breaks interspersed between your eating session? Can you sustain eating 5 to 10,000 calories of fruits and vegetables per meal? Do you have the stomach to handle that? Can you sustain consuming nutrient-dense, voluminous meals? Will you also be able to liberate time out of your busy, hectic, compact schedule to be able to make a dispensation for eating fruits and vegetables each and every meal for a prolonged period of time? It's much easier to eat foods that are nutrient dense, any small meals, than it is to eat foods with a low quantity of calories, and eat meals that are deemed to be voluminous, sizable meals. Not everyone is content with chewing food for 4 to 8 hours. Not everyone is content with ingesting food for 4 to 8 hours. I think it can be a challenge to sustain doing so each and every meal in perpetuity for the rest of your life. Most people want to depart from the dining room table. Most people want to gorge down a quick bite and subsequently move on with their life. However, when you embrace the raw fruitarian diet, you do not have that luxury. An eating session for you may take 4 to 8 hours, especially if you embrace intermittent fasting between eating sessions. You need to be able to meet at least a 14,000 weekly calorie threshold to be able to maintain your weight. If you're eating 5 to 10,000 calories per meal, and if you only eat 3 meals per week, you will more than likely, by the skin of your teeth, exceed that weekly calorie threshold to be able to maintain your weight. You do always want to be able to maintain a healthy BMI of well above 18.5. You do not want to wither away. You do not want to succumb to multi-organ failure. You want to thrive, prosper, and flourish. You want to be imbued with energy. You want to be energized. You want to be able to attain robust, vigorous, unalloyed health. You never want your health to atrophy nor wane. Nor be degraded. So, do everything in your purview to ensure that your organs are eminently nourished, are eminently hydrated. You want to be able to function optimally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You do not want to lose physical prowess. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Fortunately, much to your relief, much to your elation, your taste buds can change over time, so food that does not appease you. Food products that you deem to be unsavory, unappealing, and non-sensational can become palatable, delectable, succulent, scrumptious, and flavorful to you over time if your taste buds change. Furthermore, you have the option to utilize pink Himalayan salt or sea salt to augment the flavor profiles of your meals. So I hope that you found this video to be informative and engrossing. It is a challenge to eat healthy foods each and every meal because most people lack the tolerance, they lack the patience to sustain consuming fruits and vegetables for a prolonged period of time, which may culminate in being at least 4 to 8 hours per meal. Humans are not well acclimated with grazing all day. Even though they have the anatomy to be frugivores, we have high pH levels, long intestines, flat teeth, and vessels devoid of innate weaponry. We're meant to pluck fruit off the trees and subsequently consume it. We're not meant to eat animal carcasses, nor animal secretions, nor animal byproducts, nor synthetic bastardized artificial man-made foods. You want to be able to embrace living an inflammation-free life. You do not want to succumb to inflammation, nor insufferable pain, nor a deleterious chronic disease. Protect your health, optimize your well-being, safeguard your organs, and do everything in your purview to thrive, prosper, and flourish, and move your life in a forward movement trajectory. Never stagnate, never regress, and make sure that you can manifest the quintessential version of yourself into reality. Actualize your latent potential, and eat healthy foods because they will empower you. They will imbue you with energy. You want to have more strength, stamina, endurance, perseverance, and tenacity. You want to be all the more resilient. You want to have all the more fortitude, all the more vigor. You want your energy to be unalloyed. Will your energy be unbridled? Will it be unfettered? Who knows how much energy you will derive from consuming fruits and vegetables. The reason why you may be hungry and have hunger cravings and a voracious appetite is because your vessel is craving nutrients. If you're eating nutrient diluted foods, then your appetite will more than likely never be assuaged. We need nutrients and calories to be able to thrive, prosper, and flourish and sustain ourselves. So, once again, I hope that you found this video to be fascinating as well as insightful. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.